Hello friends, I welcome you all to our YouTube channel Adapt, Learn and Grow Together. In this session, we will discuss and understand how we can create a basic home budget tracker using Excel functions, tools and features available. The data shown here is the purchase data which the user will capture, and basis the purchase data we would be able to generate insights. Let us now discuss the purchase data that as a user we need to capture. So as a user we need to capture the category of the product, the subcategory of the product, bill amount and order date, and finally the spend platforms on which the expenses were made. We can see here that category is a drop-down list which ensures that no outside value other than the defined values for category will be allowed. In the case of spend platform, again it defines the allowed values for the spend platform column, and the user need to select one of these values only. Now moving to the subcategory column, it can be seen that it is a drop-down list, but it is a dependent drop-down list, and the values shown here in the drop-down list are dependent upon the value selected for the category column. In case of fuel, this drop-down list of subcategory gives us two options to select from, whereas if I change this category to insurance, I can see that it is giving me different set of values in the drop-down list as per the category subcategory mapping. Let us now do a dummy entry here for demo purpose. First, select the category. In our case, we are selecting taxes as our category. Then in the purchase detail, we will capture the subcategories of the category taxes. Again, this is a dependent drop-down list, so it will only show us or give us options to select from subcategories that are mapped to the category taxes, and that is what is getting displayed here. So let us take income tax. Then we are asked to enter the bill amount. Then we are asked to enter the order date. The user will enter the order date, and then the spend platform. Here again we have predefined options to select from, but in our case, since it is taxes, I would select others here. So this is how a user can capture the details of each and every purchase done. Let us now discuss how can we create drop-down list for category and spend platform, and how can we create a dependent drop-down list for subcategory column. Starting with category. To create a drop-down list, select the cell where you want the drop-down list to be populated. Click on data, then click on data validation, and inside the data validation, there is a validation criteria section. Here in the parameter allow, select list as the value, and in the source parameter, select the values which you want to be populated in the category column drop-down list. So for our case, we are selecting the values configured in the metadata sheet for category, which is starting from 03 till 08. So these are the values which are allowed in the category column. Any value which does not meet these values or does not match these values will be giving us an error. On similar lines, let us create a drop-down list for spend platform. These highlighted cells are the allowed values for the spend platform column drop-down list. Now we understand how to create a drop-down list of category column and how to create a drop-down list for spend platform. Let us now discuss subcategory. Subcategory is not a simple drop-down list, it is a dependent drop-down list. To create a dependent drop-down list, first map the subcategories to various categories given to us. We have done this mapping in the metadata sheet here, and it looks like this. So this is category subcategory mapping. Bill recharges, grocery, fuel, insurance, taxes, and food bill. All of these are allowed categories, and the values present below these categories in this table represent the subcategories that are mapped to the category mentioned here. So water bill, electricity bill, cooking gas, and others are subcategories that are mapped to the category bill recharges. On similar lines, term insurance, life insurance, two-wheeler insurance, four-wheeler insurance, or medical insurance are the subcategories that are mapped to the category insurance. So in case of dependent drop-down list, as step 1, we create a mapping of the category and the subcategory as shown here. The values present in the subcategories are defined as named range. So first select the range of cells which you want to be the part of the named range. Once the cells are selected, go to the name box and enter bill recharges as the name of the range selected. One thing to observe here is that we have kept the name in the name box same as the name of the category. So as second step, we will define each range of subcategories as named range with the name same as the category name. Now in the third step, we will click on data tab, then go to data validation and assign list as a value to allow parameter. Then in the case of source, we will use the indirect function to return the values present in the category that is passed as a parameter value in the indirect function. So in this case, the indirect function is passed a value which is P3, which is taxes, and the values referred to the named range taxes will be returned as an output in the subcategory list. So it looks for a named range taxes and returns the values that are mapped or referred to the taxes named range that are mapped to the taxes named range. The indirect function will pick the value present in the cell P3 and would return range referred to with the name of taxes. Hence, it would return the values present in the name range taxes. Hence, these values are returned and populated in our subcategory drop-down list when the category is taxes. For illustration purposes, I have created dummy records for the purchases done in the month of February. Since we now understand the data shown here, let us derive few KPIs and see how this purchase data can generate insights for us. Moving to the MIS sheet, the first KPI is the total expense for the month of February. This can be calculated by using the sum function, in which we will be adding all the bill amount for the month of February. Similarly, the second KPI is the maximum expense. To find the maximum expense, we will use the max function over the column D. The output that we are getting is 12,000, which matches with the output that we get from manual check. Also, we can derive category-wise breakup, which is if I want to understand how much money was spent on grocery for the month of February, this category-wise breakup will give us that value, which is 2,850 rupees. On similar lines, if I want to calculate how much money has been spent on taxes for the month of February, it will give us an output of 14,600 rupees. We can also split the data platform wise. So here we can see for Blinkit, the total amount spent on Blinkit for the month of February is 1100. For Zomato is 14,500. This gives us an idea which all platform are we using the most and category wise breakup will help us in understanding which category we are spending how much. So to calculate category wise breakup, we will use the sum if else function. Here we will sum all the purchases that fall under bill recharge. So sum if else function will ask for the sum range, which is column D. Then it will ask for the criteria. So the criteria range is column B, which is the category, and the criteria is the value present in this cell. So here we are saying that sum up the bill amount of all the rows that fall under the category of bill recharges. We can copy this formula for other categories as well. Same is the case with the spent platform wise breakup. Here all the platforms through which expense can be done are captured here, and again using the sum if else function we can calculate the amount of money spent on a given spent platform. So here if we talk about Blinkit, which is our spent platform, we can find the breakup for Blinkit by summing all the bill amounts present in column D, where the spent platform is equal to the corresponding value present in the column A. These are basic KPIs which we can generate using max, sum, countifs, sumifs functions. I would like to thank you all for watching this video. Please like, subscribe and press the bell icon for future notifications.